Hi everyone, good morning. It's Saturday, January 31st. And what time is it? I have no idea what time it is. Like 5 o'clock or something. Got up at 3:30. Um, let's talk about that. Getting up early. The reason I get up early, well, there's a couple of reasons. Um, I used to wake up, my dad used to wake me up as a kid, and I would make his breakfast when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I went to a Don Bosco Technical Institute in Rosemead or San Gabriel, and it's a Catholic high school, and it was 8 hours of school a day, and it was hard, and I had a lot of homework and a lot of studying. So I like to do the homework in the morning, because it was quiet time. It's quiet, and there's no distractions. I make my dad breakfast. He'd go in and shower and shave, and then I would study. And uh, I was talking to my granddaughter the other day, and she says, "Grandpa, you should give advice. When I do these little videos." And that's my advice: get up early. Because to me, it's like even when I get out on the road and drive, when I was Ubering, I'm out on the road and nobody else is on the road. That's it's like I got the whole world to myself, and that's the beauty of it, because it's quiet, there's no distractions, other than the dogs, but even the dogs are sleeping. Look at the dogs are sleeping over there. Henry's on his perch. And Hawkeye's just watching me. Sorry about the little wobbling. But get up early and enjoy the day. It's the start of the day. Go to go to bed early too. If there's nothing on TV, go to bed. Um, oh, another thing too. Everybody might be wondering. Maybe you're not wondering. Or you should wonder. I wonder. But why I wear the San Francisco hat. And I was born and raised in LA. And my father was born and raised in LA. Well, but you don't bite the hand that feeds you. When the Dodgers came to LA, I'm going to look in the little thing there. When the Dodgers came to LA, and this is where I don't really understand why my oldest brother's a Dodger nut. My dad did not. It did not sit well with my dad that they did eminent domain and all the Hispanics in Chavez Ravine and they gave them a nickel on the dollar for their land. And then the city paid to build the stadium. And then they handed the keys to the Dodgers, and my dad being a tax paying guy, that did not sit well with him. So, as a little kid growing up, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And he did not like the Dodgers. And so I had to pick a team. And they used to televise the Dodgers and Giants in San Francisco every time they played. And so I grew up, and my hero was Willie Mays, and therefore I'm a Giants fan. And I'm a true fan because, once a fan, always a fan, I'm an Angel fan too. I was torn when they played. The Giants played the Angels. I did root for the Angels because my dad loved the Angels, and that's another thing, talking about my dad. And my dad was he became a Catholic to bury my mother. He went through all the catechism and all this stuff, and I had this sticker, this thing right here, Loretto Chapel. It's a spiral staircase. This is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My dad would have loved this place. And there's some magic. Check this out. Do some research on this. Loretto Chapel. And if you're ever going through Santa Fe, that's a must stop. That's a must stop because it's a beautiful thing. And there's a great story behind it. And it's a story of an old carpenter who stopped through and I believe it was Jesus or Jesus' father, the old carpenter. But anyway, Oh, and if you're in Santa Fe, might as well go to Albuquerque. And Albuquerque, get off the I-10 and go south to Central Avenue and cruise down that road, because that's where they saw the Breaking Bad. And there's great places to eat. I took Emma there, and she said, "Look, Papa, there's the restaurant, and there's the car wash." And she was pointing all this stuff, because she didn't really watch Breaking Bad, because I watched Breaking Bad. But she knew all the, which kind of tripped me out. Evidently she's paying attention when she was supposed to be doing homework. And she used to do that too when I would go to AA meetings. I used to secretary an AA meeting, and Emma's sat in a lot of AA meetings, and it was always tripped me out that, at the end of the meeting, we'd, everybody stand up and hold hands and say the Serenity Prayer. And she would hold hands, but she would never say the Serenity Prayer. She knows it. I guess she was saying it in her own mind, but she's not an alcoholic. So, and I respect that, I am truly blessed. I'm really glad that she's not an alcoholic. But you know what? I gotta do an apology right now too. I watched the video from yesterday afternoon's episode, or what do you want to call this? And when I bent over to get Henry's ball, my butt crack showed, and I apologize for anybody who I may have offended. With my butt crack, Ellen used to call me, a girl, Ellen Long, she was in AA, and she passed, but she used to call me Droopy Drawers. Evidently, I don't have a butt to hold my pants up, so my pants are always dropping. She called me Droopy Drawers, and I love her, but... she's one of the characters, and we meet in these meetings, and of Alcoholics Anonymous, and all the other programs. And her father was actually the counselor at Los Encinas Hospital when I went through rehab back in 1987. They called him Twinkle Toes, and he had a lot of. He went around the block once or twice too, so. When I listen to these videos too, I have to turn up the volume, because evidently I'm not talking loud enough, and I keep looking at the wrong side of the camera, so I apologize for that one too. There's a little green dot, I don't know what that is. But listen, God bless, and do something for other people, for fun or for free, and you will be amazed before you're halfway through. You will know a new freedom and a new happiness, and you will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. You will comprehend the word serenity, and you will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, that's, you will see that, there is something else. And that was a portion of the big book. It was probably the promises. And I don't know what page it was on, but, I'm pretty lucky. But thanks, folks, for listening. I'll talk to you soon.